Hi friends and welcome. I couldn't wait to do this video today because I'll be sharing with you one of my very favorite eyeshadow brands that works so beautifully for those of us who are older. And I'll reveal the name of that brand in just a few moments. I'll also be demonstrating a couple of eyeshadow looks using this brand a little bit later in this video. This video is the fourth in a series of videos about eyeshadow brands that are top-notch for those of us with mature skin. If you'd like to check out any of the other three videos, I'll put links to them in the description box below. Before we jump into today's topic, I want to welcome those of you who are returning to this channel and also welcome those of you who are new to this channel. My name is Elise and I'm a professional working makeup artist, and this channel focuses on what I am passionate about, helping those of us who are over 50 look radiant, polished, and confident by focusing on the makeup techniques and products that work best for us at this point in our lives. So if you remember seeing the Beatles perform live on Ed Sullivan's show, or staying up until the wee hours of the morning to watch the moon landing, you have come to the right place. And I hope you'll subscribe before you leave today. And if you tap on the notification bell below the video and to the right, you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Now, on to today's topic. So what exactly is it that makes one eyeshadow brand easier for us to work with than another? Well, there are 5 factors that I used as my criteria to determine these top eyeshadow brands for us. The first criterion is that the eyeshadows have to be easy to apply and blend. I think most of us want our makeup application to be as quick and easy as possible. So the easier the shadows apply and blend, the quicker the application will be, the less frustration we'll experience, and the better our eyeshadow will look. Number 2, the shadows have to have good pigmentation. I feel really strongly about this point for 3 different reasons. First, good pigmentation means we don't have to dip back into the eyeshadow color several times to get the amount of color that we need for a look. So good pigmentation means we'll save time. In addition, good pigmentation means the eyeshadow will work well for darker skin tones as well as lighter skin tones. And last, because we don't have to dip back into the colors, we won't need to use as much product, so the palette will last longer, which translates into it being a better value for us. The third criterion is that the brand must have a good range of mattes, shimmers, and metallics. And my preference is always for at least an equal number of mattes to shimmers and metallics, or more mattes than shimmers, since this makes a palette a lot more versatile. Fourth, the brand must have consistent quality over many different eyeshadow palettes. I've been extremely pleased with the quality of the various palettes I've tried from this particular brand. And my last criterion is that most of the palettes should have an interesting color story. And this is certainly true for this brand, as you'll soon see. So I guess it would be a good idea to finally reveal the name of the brand that we'll be focusing on today. It's the brand Sydneygrace, and it's a really unique brand in many ways. 2 sisters in California are the co-founders, and the brand is named after 2 of their children. What's really unusual is that this brand doesn't outsource the manufacturing of their products. They're all made in-house, which in this day and age is truly amazing. This company is especially known for the quality of their matte eyeshadows, which co-founder Heather says is the very hardest product to make. Heather, who's the sister who's a chemist, says that their mattes are tricky to make because unlike most companies, they don't use a liquid binder. And the really difficult part of the creation process is finding the best ratio of ingredients that make the matte eyeshadows highly pigmented, but also blendable. And often, when the formula is perfected, they find out that the product won't press well later on, so they have to start all over. It literally took Heather months and months to come up with the right formula. If you're a neutral color lover, their best eyeshadow palette to try is Summer Days. If you like a few pops of color, then the 15 pan palette Enduring Love is perfect. Here's what the light version of this palette looks like. Sydney Grace was very innovative when they produced the Enduring Love palette because it's available in both a light and a dark version. They did this to make this product more inclusive, since often lighter shades won't work for people with darker skin tones. They collaborated with the late YouTuber Mel Thompson on a 15-pan palette called Tiny Marvels. And their most recent collaboration is a collection of 3 12-pan eyeshadow palettes with Christine Melky, who's the founder of the makeup review site called Temptalia. I actually have all 3 palettes from this collaboration, but I actually can't show them to you because each color can be removed from the palette, and I've transferred all the mattes from these 3 palettes to a separate magnetic palette. I did this so I could have all the matte colors in one place rather than scattered through all 3 of the palettes in this collection. Their other palettes include 4 9-pan palettes. The Sweet Indulgence and Chase Your Dream palettes each have several pops of color. Sydney Grace does make a number of other products besides their powder eyeshadow palettes. They make cream eyeshadows and single shadows in 7 different formulations: matte, pressed pigments, shimmer, cream, multi-chromes, loose pigments, and loose glitter. They also make setting powder, highlighter, blush, lip cream, empty magnetic palettes, as well as makeup bags. They usually have 2 big sales a year. One is called Christmas in July, and the other is usually in November. And I'll be removing this eyeshadow shortly and creating 2 new looks using several of these shimmers from the Temptalia collaboration. These are the shimmers in the palette called Quintessence. And here are the shimmers in the Radiant Reflections palette. And this third palette is called On the Horizon. And I'll also be using some of the mattes from both the Temptalia collection and my collection of Sydney Grace single matte eyeshadows, which I put in this separate magnetic palette. These are all my mattes, but you will see one lone shimmer on your top right. Bottom left, there is a Natasha Denona matte shadow. I'm going to go ahead and remove the eye makeup I have on right now, and I'll be back shortly to create 2 looks using both mattes and shimmers from the Sydney Grace palettes. Well, there are some incredible blues and greens in these palettes, so I may have to go in that direction with my 2 different looks. For the first look, I'm going to work from this top row of mattes for the initial colors, going with the light orange, the very lightest orange on the top, and then I'm going to move down to the next row of blues. Just going to start with that very lightest orange color matte in the middle of the crease area. And just before we started, I applied eye primer, and I also put a little bit of translucent powder over my lids. This color is so light that it's not showing up terribly well, so I'm going to deepen it a little bit. I'm going to go to this next color, which is a little bit darker. I'm putting the brush right in the middle of the crease first because I have the most product on it, and then as I have less product on it, I'm going to carry it up toward the brow area. So it becomes a really light gradation of color going up to the eyebrow. And that's exactly what I want. And of course, this is a look you could just leave as is. I think that color is just gorgeous. But we're going to keep going. I'm going to take this next deepest color and I'm going to put it in the outer corner of the lid and the outer corner of the crease. And I'm just going to stamp it on with this denser brush. Oh, I love I call these sunrise colors. They're just so beautiful. Then I'm going to take a fluffier brush and I'm just going to blend. Soften these colors out. Now, a color opposite on the color wheel from orange is blue. Using complementary colors like orange and blue can really make the eyes pop. Now, I know it sounds like it's going to look absolutely garish. I hope that's not what it's going to end up looking like. But I'm going to add some blues in and do it hopefully subtly so we can see how these 2 colors look together. I'm going to go with this beautiful matte blue here. It's almost a little bit of a blue-green. And boy, I just put a tiny, tiny bit on there. And I'm going to go in the outer part of the crease and bring it up into the crease a little bit. And then I'm going to pack a little bit onto the outer corner. I'm holding up my upper lid because I want to make sure that I get the color all the way into my crease because I have pretty deep set eyes. And then a little blending. Now this could be a quick and easy daytime look, but I'm going to ramp it up just a bit and use a little bit of shimmer in that outer corner and outer crease. So I'm debating between these two colors. This one's called Celestial Bloom, and this one's called Our Starry Night. And I decided to go with Celestial Bloom. And as you can see, if you apply it this way with a brush, you're not really getting a lot of shimmer. So I'm going to take a little bit of Our Starry Night and put it on my finger and apply a little bit of that on the outer lid. And as you can see, I'm getting much more color payoff using my finger with the shimmer. And I want to lighten this up a little bit, so I'm going to use some of this white on my inner corner and into that shimmer blue. And that really makes a nice gradation. And I sort of lost my orange in this process, so I'm going to go back in and reapply a little bit of that here. That white is really a wonderful white that makes a huge difference. So nice to have both white and black in a palette. Okay, I think we're done with this eye. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and then after that I'll clean up under the eyes any fallout, add some mascara and liner, and be back. On the other eye, I'm going to start with some of the gray tones at the bottom, starting with the lightest gray and then deepening it a bit, and then I'll be adding some green on top of it. I'm actually going to mix these two colors first. This is really a pretty light silver gray, and I'm actually mixing it in with a little bit of white just to lighten it up a bit. And again, this by itself would be a beautiful soft look, but let's go ahead and add some more color and add some of the green. First, I'm just going to extend this gray out this way and bring it up just a slight bit. Then I'm going to take just a tiny bit of this deepest green. Oh, I love this color green. And again, I want to get it right into that crease and slightly above. I love this look just as it is, but let's go ahead and amp it up just a little bit with some shimmer. I'm going to use this green called Jealousy's Descent. And once again, I'm going to use my finger just to get a little bit more payoff from the shimmer. And as long as we're just playing and having fun, I'm going to go ahead and add some of this light silver color called Sirius Starlight and put it in the middle of the lid. It's spelled S-I-R-I-U-S. I'm going to carry it over to the inner corner because this is such a beautiful color. Here we have two very different looks. I'm going to go ahead off camera and clean up the fallout, add some eyeliner and some mascara, and I'll be right back. So let's take a final look at the two eyeshadow looks that we created today. On this side, we have the greens with the grays and the silver. And on this side, we also added quite a bit of shimmer to the eyelid in silver. On this side, we have the lighter oranges and mid-tone oranges along with blues and just a touch of blue shimmer in the side of the lid. Let's go up close and take a look. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please give it a thumbs up. And I hope you'll let me know in the comments section below if you've tried any of the Sydney Grace eyeshadow products, and if so, what your experience has been with them. And several of you recently have asked me about my weekly newsletter. So I wanted to let you know that if you'd like to receive my newsletter or contact me about a Zoom makeup consultation, all you need to do is drop me a line at boomerandbeyondbeauty@gmail.com. Until we see each other again, I wish you good health and happiness, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.